Greetings everyone. This week's race will be at Papyrus for the Sylvania Buschhhh League. The past 2 weeks have been dominated by Jules Tirol in the number 22 Toyota. So we've got a bunch of other drivers out there that would like to put their name on the win list. Papyrus usually only runs one qualifying lap, so we should know in about 2 minutes here who's on the pole. This will be our last race for about 2 weeks since I'll be going on vacation in Arizona next week. On that question for Riley's car, we'll have to see. It'll take a minute here. Last race, I believe he had it, and I could do a quick pull and switch because it's going to pick between the two cars at random. Actually, let's go ahead and... I think we're getting enough people tuned in right now. So the number 2 car is in his ream paint scheme, so yes. Sort of skimmed right by it all, but our pole setter is Tyler Disharoon over Tyler Fink. So we got a pair of Tylers starting on the front row. Ewan Wood Army with Craig Busch, Brian Clark and Tristan Reams, Roland Heidfeld and Adam Gerber-Forian, Dave Wilson and Chris Hergeson, followed by Adam Starr, Clarence Bonner, Justin Day 2, Ryan Blaney, Skylar Dixon, and Lucas Holmes within your top 15. This track usually provides us with some good side-by-side racing. And I think we're going to be treated to another gem of a race tonight. Off to the early lead, it is Tyler Disharoon from pole position. For those of you that don't know anything about this track, it's laid out like a road course, but it's as fast as a super speedway. They're going to take a sharp left-hand turn here. And a lot of drivers that were on the inside line are now stuck in the outside line. So kind of reminiscent to 8 Bowl earlier in the season. Then they have another left-hand turn here. Wow, Ewan Wood Army is up to first after the first lap. Disharoon was not even able to lead his first revolution around the track. Noah Hobson is now dead last as Nadaka Gum has made up a spot from his start. The worst ratings in the game has really cost Nadaka Gum a lot of good runs this season. Now, last week's winner, Jules Tirol, has fallen to dead last. We've got a couple winners deep in the pack here as JD Arrington still hasn't figured out how to get his car figured out. After winning the first points-paying race of the season, he has struggled very badly. Lead is still Ewan Wood Army over Disharoon, and now Adam Starr has worked his way up from 4th to 3rd. Last week, he really got snubbed the win, as he was leading with about 5 laps to go. He had to make an unscheduled pit stop and wound up losing the race that was surely his to win. So if there's anyone out there this week, it's definitely him looking for redemption. Looks like he's going to make a pass here on Disharoon for second. Might have to hold off a lap here, or at least a corner, as Brian Clark's now got a run on the inside of Starr for third. Our points leader is still Adam Gerber-Forian, who is just killing it with consistency this year. He has not finished outside of the top 10 yet. All 5 starts have resulted in a top 10 finish. Not much better than that, as most of the other drivers out there have accumulated a couple top 10 or top 5s and wins. He's just staying alive by top 10 in it. So as they run right now, I'm going to go down the running order. We've got Ewan Wood Army leading over Tyler Disharoon, Adam Starr, Brian Clark, Roland Heidfeld, Craig Busch, Tyler Fink. Tristan Reams is now getting by Adam Gerber-Forian, it looks like. Those guys are 8 and 9. Then we've got Skylar Dixon working his way up to 10th, bumping Justin Daytu back to 11th. Chris Hergeson running 12th. Dave Wilson running 13th. Clarence Bonner running 14th. Ryan Blaney running 15th. Cam Jordan in 16th. Lucas Holmes running 17th. Tyler Aspinall running 18th. Nelson Morrison running 19th. Bella Fawn in 20th. Riley Sorrell Tracy has moved into 21st. Dusty Redding, 22nd. Driver X, 23rd. Joshua Harrison, 24th in the 24 car. Micah Mixer running 25th. Connor Cooper running 26th. Noah Hobson running 27th. Justin Patrick running 28th. Ethan Creech running 29th. Logan Nagy in 30th. Tyler Landa in 31st. Lynn Farrell running 33rd. Astonishingly, Jules Tirol running 34th. Nadak Hagam running 30. Okay, so that was bad. Tirol is 33rd. Hagam is 34th. And 35th is JD Arrington. Adam Starr has now worked his way up to second, and it looks like Disharoon's dropping backwards as Fink is up to third. And Adam Starr might just get a pass on the lead here. Disharoon dropped all the way outside the top 5 on that lap alone. Back to 7th. We got 3 wide for the lead as Fink comes out victorious. And Craig Busch is going to flirt with taking the lead too now. Ewan What Army definitely got the worst end of it as he got cycled outside the top 5. Fink to the lead. Tristan Reams is looking pretty racy today. The top 3 as they run, actually even further back. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th haven't won yet this year. I wouldn't count day 2 since he didn't win a points paying race. You have to look as far back, and it seems like the same story, different verse, because a lot of our winners have a slow start to each race. Clarence Bonner in 16th is your highest running previous winner on the season in this race. We've got some solid 3 wide action here, mid-pack. And it's Tristan Reams to the lead as he gets by Tyler Fink. Correction, Craig Busch is leading over Tristan Reams as Tyler Fink falls back to third. Currently, the race is on lap 9 of 42. And we do have Reams going to the lead now. Apologies, I was a little bit sidetracked. Reams and Buschhhh are putting on a good fight at the front here. And we've got a bunch of contenders who are looking pretty racy. Tristan Reams is going to lead circuit number 10 around the track. Short-lived as Craig Buschhhh gets back by him. And truly a surprising run on the race by Roland Heidfeld, who struggled to get up front for the last several races. He's looking pretty good today. Riley Sorrell Tracy's making some pretty slick moves in the back here. He fell from roughly 21st back outside into the 30s. So he's going to have to hope for some good fortunes during pit stops. Now our highest running previous winner is that of Cam Jordan in 13th. Still means that there's 12 drivers that are contending to get their first points paying win and have a really good shot at it. Craig Buschhhh got shuffled out pretty deep there as Adam Starr ends up leading that lap. As they run, it is caution free through 12 laps. This will likely contribute to green flag pit stops in the not so distant future. Craig Buschhhh making a solid move on the inside here as Ewan What Army leads that lap. Mark Cam Jordan up a couple more spots as he cracks into the top 10. This track has had one of the closest finishes in my Cup Series, where it was a photo finish of 0.00, and the game wouldn't tell me any more than that because it doesn't track any further past that increment of time. It took me a while to delegate and make sure that the overall winner was who they said it was, and the computer ended up, I sided with what the computer decided on that win. Still, probably one of the craziest moments that I had in NR 2003. This track is definitely a beast. Pretty big track for such close side-by-side racing. It's like someone was out in a sandbox and just decided to craft whatever track came to mind. A lot of twists and turns that are not even closely resembling that of any real life tracks out there. The banking is pretty aggressive on this turn here, allowing them to hold it pretty wide open without having to let off the throttle. Adam Starr's outside in the high lane, running 4th right now, as Ryan Blaney's cracked up into the top 5. Cam Jordan is slowly and meticulously picking off driver after driver. He's about to get into 8th place here. He's got to get by the other NOS car of Justin Daytu, though. In the meantime, the monster car's taking the lead back. Likely we're going to start getting pit stops, and I'm imagining another couple laps. This is on lap 16 of 42. Unless we get a caution, this will likely lead us shortly into about lap 20 for pit stops. They'll want to make it to lap 21, that way they're cutting it right in half. And even like mentioned earlier, if they get a caution, that'll help with the strategy as well. I do believe in the 17 laps we've run so far, Tyler Fink has led the most of them. And as we see there, it looks like Cam Jordan is about to get into the top 5 here. Fastest lap run in the race has actually belonged to Noah Hobson. And then Justin Patrick, second fastest, along with Joshua Harrison, Skylar Dixon, and Micah Mixer. So those are 5 drivers that are deep in the pack, nowhere near the front. But likely means if we do get green flag pit stops, they might be able to make up a bunch of ground. Our 5th fastest driver, Micah Mixer, is running 22nd right now. Noah Hobson, the fastest, is 21st. Skylar Dixon running 17th. Seems that I missed or skimmed by the 24 of Josh Harrison. Unless he is out of the race. Nope, there he is. He's up right behind Micah Mixer in 23rd. And Justin Patrick running 30th. So your 5 fastest drivers are nowhere near the top 15. Tyler Aspinall's having a decent run as he's worked his way into 12th place. Chris Hergeson had his stretch of top 5s fall apart last week as he had a retirement due to a wreck. So he's looking to bounce back with hopefully another top 5. Currently top 10. And Cam Jordan has worked his way into the top 5. As Ewan What Army currently leads over Tyler Fink and Craig Busch, Cam Jordan is looking to get his 2nd win on the season. This time by it'll be halfway, and we'll likely see drivers that'll start working into the pit strategy. If they complete this lap, they'll be able to go with one more pit stop to finish it all. Cam Jordan ain't content with 2nd as he's going to try to fight What Army to get the lead. He doesn't successfully get the job done there, but he's going to try to mount another charge on the leader. It's amazing that our winner for the past 2 weeks, Jules Tirol, is mired back in 30th, having his worst run of the season so far. And little fun fact, the 21 car ends up leading lap 21 in the Forever 21 sponsored Dodge Challenger. But Cam Jordan is going to try to take it, and looks like he's going to succeed in doing so, as he's come from deep in the pack outside the top 20 to take the lead in this race. Ryan Blaney is running solidly in 5th right now. Tyler Disharoon 6th. Adam Starr 7th. Chris Hergeson up to 8th. And Tyler Fink running 9th, while Tristan Reams rounds out your top 10. Looks like Tyler Aspinall wants to get into the top 10 here, as some 3-wide action in front of him is going to allow him to do so. Looks like he's going to get 2 birds with 1 stone there, as he's now up to 9th. And our first pit stops of the race are coming on lap 22. This will shake everything up. We're going to have to see where everyone shakes out at the end of these green flag pit stops. Also, this is a danger zone for most, because a lot of traffic is going to be coming off pit road and potentially cause a wreck and bring out a caution. Drivers still out on track right now include Riley Sorrell Tracy, Connor Cooper, Jules Tirol, Dusty Redding, Bella Fawn, Driver X, Micah Mixer, Noah Hobson, Brian Clark, Adam Gerber-Forian, Dave Wilson, Lucas Holmes, Nelson Morrison, Tyler Fink, Chris Hergeson, Tyler Aspinall, Adam Starr, Tyler Disharoon, Ryan Blaney, and Ewan Wood Army. Most of which are likely going to come down pit road on this time by. Doesn't look like we're going to have anyone else stay out another lap. So the pits are perfectly structured into 2 different laps for the 2 different groups. And everyone's going to be able to make it to the end of the race. There ain't going to be any weird strategy pit, any gas mileage race. Hopefully everything will play out the way it should. Still caution free through half the race. No retirees, no mechanical failures. It has been a very clean and monotonous race up to this point. Most of our drama is going to come here after everyone starts pulling off for the end of their pit stops here. Some drivers might actually be able to gain ground and switch up their position from where they were running before the pit stops. Looks like Lynn Farrell might actually be able to gain some positions here. Either that or the 29 of Tristan Reams really had a rough pit stop. And I'm leaning on the other side of Reams having a rough pit stop, as there is a bunch of drivers still out front of him. Doesn't look like Ewan Wood Army is going to be the leader. Cam Jordan, after the pit stop cycled out, will be your new leader of the race on lap 25. Over Ryan Blaney, Tyler Disharoon, Adam Starr, Chris Hergeson. See after they pass the line here. Okay, Ewan What Army third. Justin Day 2, Roland Heidfeld. And look at that, Tyler Aspinall cracking his way into the top 10 and working on the top 5 here too. Adam Starr really suffered from those pit stops as it dropped him back to about 14th. But Lynn Farrell did manage to gain a lot of track position. He cut his distance in half from the lead, where he was running about 30th. He's now up to roughly 15th. It does look like Josh Harrison is having troubles on pit road. They must be repairing some kind of damage to the vehicle. We can see here maybe the 24. Doesn't say anything I can see off here for the 24. Ryan Blaney currently leads the race. Ewan What Army running second. Roland Heidfeld has now cracked his way into the top 3. And don't count Tyler Aspinall out as he's now into the top 5. Things definitely are setting up to where we might have a photo finish at the start-finish line. Not every race is going to have a bunch of cautions or maybe the best of action, but at least this one usually keeps cars pretty close to the front for a photo op finish usually. I will agree this race has got kind of drawn out here in the later running. Without a caution to help drag some of the lesser cars to the front, we have the lead pack and then we have a spattering of them towards the rear. Tyler Fink is it's gonna cost him the most by the end of the day because he was contending for a win and now he's running 26th. Jules Tirol still hasn't been able to get much better than 30th all day. Currently mired 28th. Our points leader, Adam Gerber-Forian, is going to give up a bunch of points running 33rd. It seems that he's also lost any drafting partners, so he's only going to lose more ground to the leader. Looks like Josh Harrison got his car fixed and he's coming back out on track. So our point standings are definitely going to be shook up this week, as our points leader might finish outside the top 30. That's good news for a lot of you guys because the points leader has been tied up by Adam for the last 4 races. Tyler Aspinall now into 4th place. Cam Jordan is trying to get the lead here from What Army. And it looks like Cam Jordan has a mechanical failure of sorts, running in 2nd. The 18 has a tire go down. That's a crying shame for Cam Jordan, who is looking solid. So he had a tire go down while running 2nd, and luckily didn't take anyone else with him. It could have been bad for Tyler Aspinall. I do think he made a little bit of contact there. Still, the race goes on without a caution, and your leader benefiting from all that, Ewan What Army is now out to a sizable lead over 2nd place. Second to him is Ryan Blaney, about 10 car lengths back. Still green flag, no caution. The top 4 here kind of spread out. But with Ewan out there, he's a sitting duck with no draft help. He's going to get swallowed up in an instant here. So now we're back to a bunch of drivers at the front that haven't won a race this year. Ewan What Army over Ryan Blaney. Day 2, Buschhh. Micah Mixer now cracked his way into the top 5. That's a solid run for him. Heidfeld, Aspinall, Disharoon, Skylar Dixon, Morrison, Hobson, Nagy, Patrick, Holmes, Reams, Redding, Starr, Hergeson, Fawn, and then Clarence Bonner, who is your highest running race winner in 20th place. The green flag pit stops have definitely turned this race upside down. As we've got 11 laps to go, it's looking to be about a 4-car fight for the win. Tyler Aspinall did lose some ground. He was in that top 5 fighting for the front position, but he's definitely lost the lead draft now. Micah Mixer is looking to make up for a bunch of heartache in the first 5 races of the season. Him and his teammate Craig Buschhh both haven't had a top 5 finish all year. Looks like they might change their luck today if it keeps going the way it's going. Day 2 would like to prove that his shake-up race was no fluke, and by winning a points-paying race, he would join Rare Air in a winning category amongst his peers. Ryan Blaney getting by What Army for the lead here, but now he's in the inside lane on Ryan Blaney. Blaney's going to have to fight hard on the outside. Still fighting pretty hard to get the lead here, and he loses a bunch of momentum as he drops back to 3rd now. This time by 9 laps to go, and What Army leads over day 2. Running in last place is Josh Harrison. Nadaka Gum, 34th. 33rd, JT Arrington. 32nd, Adam Gerber-Forian. 31st, Brian Clark. 30th, Jules Tirol. 29th, Dave Wilson. 28th, Riley Sorrell Tracy. 27th, Tyler Landa. About to be 28th here if Tracy can get by him. And we got Ethan Creech in 24th. 26th. We got a bunch of them fighting here for 23rd place. Lynn Farrell right now in 23rd. Tyler Fink, 22nd. Chris Hergeson, 21st. Connor Cooper in 20th. Bella Fawn in 19th. Adam Starr in 18th. Clarence Cooper in 17th. Dusty Redding in 16th. Tyler Aspinall, 15th, and Tristan Reams, 14th. Logan Nagy in 13th. Lucas Holmes in 12th. Roland Heidfeld in 11th. Justin Patrick in 10th. Tyler Disharoon running 9th. Noah Hobson running 8th. Micah Mixer running 7th. Skylar Dixon running 6th. Craig Busch, day 2, Blaney, and What Army? Day 2 is going to get by for the lead here with 6 laps to go, as it's anyone's game in the top 4 right here. Fifth place, Skylar Dixon is 4.5 seconds out of the lead. So it's going to be hard for him to catch up at the rate the laps are clicking away. Cam Jordan is lap down traffic here that's going to potentially make things spicy for the win. And we got a caution. This will likely put it at a few lap showdown for the win. Day 2 is going to hold the lead going into the caution here. And if the pit stops were any indicator, looks like Tyler Aspinall might have been the one that wrecked. So let's see what happens to Tyler Aspinall here. Running in 13th, he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. Oh, and Tristan Reams just dumped Tyler Aspinall, running in 13th, bringing out our first caution of the race. It was pretty neat to see them all fan out for the lead here, even though they didn't get by day 2. They remained 1, 2, 3 as they ran before fanning out. And believe it or not, the way they run right now, the top 3 are all teammates from the Mega Man Motorsports camp. Day 2, Blaney and What Army, all racing for Mega Man Motorsports Dodge Challenger. So we go 35 laps into this race, no caution, and towards the waning laps, we get our first caution with Tyler Aspinall getting wrecked into the wall by Tristan Reams. Currently, Day 2 leads over Blaney and What Army, and the lights on the pace car should go out pretty soon, giving us either a 2 or 3 lap shootout to the finale here. This also gives a lot of the drivers that had bad strokes of luck during green flag pit stops to get another fighting chance to make some positions up. Cam Jordan managed to stay on the lead lap after the caution fell. Tyler Aspinall, sadly, his day come to an end after a solid run in the top 15. Our points leader, Adam Gerber-Forian, is still running 28th, and he's going to have one hell of a start here on the restart to gain as much position as he can and hopefully maintain his points lead. The lights are still on the pace car, so we're likely going to have at least one more lap under caution. Everything's setting up for A pretty dramatic finish here at the end. What was a 4-car fight for the win is probably going to be at least a 10-car fight. And I don't know what all is going to happen here. We might actually have... We have one taker. Ryan Blaney comes onto pit road, fearing that he might not have had enough gas to make it to the end. No, correction, he had a tire failure. Flat tire on the 77, luckily under caution, but now he's going to have to come from the rear of the field. That was more than just some tire failure, as he retires with that tire failure. That's an interesting one. So your second place driver is out of the race. And the 3 teammates are now down to 2. And definitely strength in numbers, as the teammates are probably now fretting what's going to happen to their machineries. Is it a failure across setups? Could it be something that their cars might have trouble with here in the closing laps? Probably not. But it's never a good feeling when you have a teammate with a mechanical failure. Since his track is treated like a road course, the lights on the pace car should go off halfway through the lap. Once the lights go off on the pace car, the crowd will probably cheer, because that means we're going to be getting ready to go racing and determine what will likely be a new winner in the season. I stand corrected. They must still treat the track like a super speedway. So the lights on the pace car are going to go off once they pass the start-finish line this time by, giving us what'll be a true green-white checkers, as they're going to get the green flag as they pass on lap 41, run 1 lap, get the white flag, and then the checkered flag. And the lights are off. There's no telling what's going to happen. Get ready for another hype-tastic finish here. Ryan Blaney settles into his finishing position of 33rd, as there's not enough laps for him to fall any further backwards. Josh Harrison might be able to get by Tyler Aspinall for 34th, and that would only sting just a little bit for Tyler Aspinall. As with the point system in the Sylvania Buschhhh League, it only pays 1 point for 26th on back, so losing another spot from 34th to 35th means absolutely nothing. So I'll give you the quick reset here. Justin Day 2 leads over Ewan Army, Craig Busch, Skylar Dixon, Noah Hobson, Micah Mixer, Tyler Disharoon, Lucas Holmes, Justin Patrick, Roland Heidfeld, Dusty Redding, Logan Nagy, and Clarence Cooper, followed by Chris Ferguson and Adam Starr. I'm willing to wager you're not going to see anyone further after 15th place to win the race from here, as it'll be too much momentum, too much they have to make up to get to the front. And we have another mechanical failure here, as Tyler Disharoon, running 7th, has severe engine damage. So it's turning into the attrition race, as most drivers can't even make it to the finish. I'm going to turn off all the heads-up display so we have a completely undisturbed race footage here. We're getting ready for the green-white checkered of the Papyrus 155. I'm going to put my money on anyone here in the top 5 to get it done. I'm not going to pick favorites because that's lopsided broadcasting in a nutshell. Unbiased and completely neutral. So day 2 gets off to a steady pace up front. This will only put him in a bad situation, as the rest of them are going to draft up and catch him. Craig Buschhh gets on the inside of You and What Army. Skylar Dixon is helping draft whoever's going to help him get to the front, as he cuts ties with Craig Buschhh to give You and What Army a push now. Day 2, surprisingly, hasn't been a sitting duck out front, as the rest of them are struggling to catch up to him. Craig Buschhh is falling hard. It's looking like he's going to have a hard time getting a top 5 the way he's running right now. A bunch of cars in the back deep, lobbying for position, trying to get as many points as possible. But we're not going to focus on these guys because the big drama is going to be at the front here. As we get a 3 wide attempt for the win, we got the white flag out, 3 wide for the lead. And day 2 falls by the wayside, as Skylar Dixon takes the lead out of What Army's grasp. It just took an extra lap for day 2 to actually lose his momentum out front. And now it's Skylar Dixon with the lead. What Army hops in, and day 2 back to 4th, with Lucas Holmes running in a solid 5th. I'm thinking What Army is going to save up what he has to try and pass him on the front stretch. He ain't going to waste his time trying to pass him early, because Skylar Dixon might be able to take it back. This will be the momentum, and this will be the race right here. If he can get on the inside of Dixon on the exit of this turn, he might have a chance to take the win. It looks like What Army's losing some momentum to Skylar Dixon here, as Hobson pulls out on the inside, and What Army just pulls out, and it was a little too late, as Skylar Dixon comes home with the victory. A margin of .06. It's What Army in second, Hobson in third, day 2 with a 4th, Holmes with a 5th, Craig Buschhh coming home 6th, teammates of Craig Buschhh and Micah Mixer 6th and 7th, Justin Patrick 8th, Roland Heidfeld 9th, Clarence Bonner rounding out your top 10. Chris Ferguson makes up for a crappy race last week, Coming in 11th this week, Logan Nagy, Ethan Creech, Connor Cooper. Adam Starr is somewhat snake bitten again as he winds up 15th. Driver X, Tyler Fink, who was running up front for most of this race. He'll probably end up getting led most laps point bonus, even though he's going to finish 16th. Actually, correction, 18th. 19th was Bella Fawn. Jules Tirol comes home with a 20th. Tyler Landa 21st. And we've got a little bit of a gaggle here as cars are struggling to come onto pit road. Lynn Farrell 22nd. Adam Gerber-Forian, your points leader, 23rd. JD Arrington 24th. Cam Jordan 25th. Riley Sorrell Tracy 26th. Brian Clark 27th. Dave Wilson 28th. Tristan Reams, after wrecking Tyler Aspinall, the 29 car matches his position with his car number. Nelson Morrison, Nadak Hagam, Tyler Disharoon suffered a header failure, 32nd. 33rd was Ryan Blaney, Josh Harrison, and Tyler Aspinall. So, Skylar Dixon ends up winning his first race of the Sylvania Buschhhh League season, bringing us to 5 different winners in 6 races. Only 1 caution in the 155-mile race, and a couple other cars fell off at the end with mechanical failures. And now we're going to have a 2-week hiatus for the Buschhhh League, as the next on-track action will be the Super Ambush trucks racing at Dirt Daytona, which will be a fun one. And then they re-rack them up and run them again the next day on paved Daytona. So you'll have dirt, and then you'll have the Daytona Super Speedway race. Six, yep, and 6, okay. So many thanks to everyone that tuned in, and hopefully you'll come check out the next race at Dirt Daytona. Have a good night and stay safe out there, everyone. Peace out.